Have you ever found yourself awake at 3 in the morning staring at the glowing screen of your phone while the rest of the world sleeps in silence? You scroll through endless feeds of short videos and text abbreviations and you feel a strange kind of emptiness. Maybe you reach out to a chatbot to ask a question that feels too heavy for a friend. You ask the computer if the world is really falling apart or how you should feel about a future that seems to be shrinking. This moment of late-night scrolling is becoming the new baseline for human experience. We are living in a time where we have more information than ever before, but we often feel less certain about our own reality. We find ourselves lost in a digital space that calculates our every move. We wonder if we are becoming as mechanical as the devices we hold in our hands. This feeling of being a hostage to our own inventions is not just a personal struggle but a global condition. We are standing at a crossroads where we must decide if we will let machines lead us or if we will remember how to lead ourselves. To understand where we are going, we have to look at the systems we have already built and labeled as intelligent. We often think of artificial intelligence as a brand new force that has arrived from the future. On the surface, we see it as a brilliant tool that can write our emails and solve our math problems. We marvel at the way it can create art out of thin air. This surface view tells us that the more technology we have, the more intelligent we become as a species. We think of innovation as a straight line that always goes up toward a better life. We assume that if a machine can read and write, it must be helping us solve the problems of the world. However, this surface level of wonder often hides the very real human costs. We celebrate the speed of a chatbot while millions of adults across the globe still cannot read a single sentence on a piece of paper. According to global literacy data, approximately 763 million people worldwide lack basic literacy skills, and about 2/3 of them are women. This reality shows us a massive gap between the high-tech tools we build and the basic needs of the human family. We focus on the marvel of the machine while ignoring the people who are left behind by the very systems we call genius. Behind this surface wonder lies a hidden assumption that technology is a neutral force. We often assume that if a tool is powerful, it must be good. We assume that the problems of our world, like poverty or hunger, are just bugs in a software program that can be fixed with a better algorithm. This hidden assumption makes us lazy. It suggests that we can automate the work of making the world better. We wait for a technological miracle to save us from climate change or social unrest. But the hidden truth is that technology is just a mirror of the people who make it. If we build systems based on greed or bias, the tools will only make those problems bigger. We have already seen this with global capitalism and historical science. For example, historical studies show how biased scientific theories in the 19th and early 20th centuries were used to justify racial hierarchies and social castes. These were artificial systems that humans labeled as intelligent and objective truths, but they were actually negligent and harmful. We are making the same mistake today when we think that a computer can replace human passion or human justice. We assume the machine is the hero of the story when the machine is actually just a gadget in the hands of a human who must choose how to use it. This leads us to a structural pattern of displacement. We are creating a world where we spend so much time in the cloud that we forget the ground exists underneath our feet. We see a structural pattern where the labor that builds our high-tech future is often hidden in dark rooms. Many of the systems we admire are trained by click workers who are underpaid and overworked. This is not a sci-fi movie about a robot uprising. This is a structural reality of today where we choose to watch the world burn even when we have the power to save it. We see a pattern of people feeling like they need a prompt to act. We wait for a notification or a suggestion from an algorithm before we decide what to eat or who to talk to or what to believe. This pattern of being prompted makes us lose our sense of individual agency. We start to cry mechanical tears over virtual wars while ignoring the very real hunger of the displaced child who has no home. We rely on software resets for our devices, but there is no reset button for a broken society. The structure of our modern life is pulling us away from the blood and bone reality of being alive. We have to see that the true danger is not a machine that thinks, but a human who stops thinking. We must reframe our perspective by realizing that the work of hope cannot be automated. No algorithm can advise us on how to have audacious optimism when the calculations look bleak. We need to reframe our identity as the unprompted ones. Being unprompted means acting from a place of inner conviction rather than waiting for a digital signal. It means understanding that every invention is just an extension of your own hand. A hammer can be used to build a house where a family finds safety, or it can be used to destroy what someone else has created. The tool does not decide the outcome. You do. We should reframe our relationship with technology as an engine for our altruism. Instead of asking what technology can do for us, we should ask how we can wield our tools to serve the people who are currently invisible to the system. This reframing takes the power away from the black box and puts it back into the heart of the community. We are the saviors we have been waiting for. We apply this to our daily life by choosing to wake up to the world rather than just waking up to our phones. We can start by having real conversations with real humans instead of aimless interrogations with chatbots. We can apply this by being mindful of the people who are currently left out of the digital marvel. When we use a tool, we should ask who was harmed in the making of this and how can I use it to heal rather than hurt. We can apply the power of being unprompted by doing small acts of kindness that no computer would ever suggest. If you see someone struggling, do not wait for a headline to tell you it is a crisis. Act now, because you are human and you have the capacity for empathy that no code can ever replicate. We must protect our attention and our passions. Do not let an algorithm drive your movements or your blood and bone passions. Use your gadgets to build bridges to the ground below you. Make a promise to yourself that your most pressing questions will not be answered by a machine that tells you it is not sure how to process your request. Deep down, we know that the future is not something that happens to us. It is something we make with every choice we make at 3 a.m. and every action we take at noon. We are living in a world of zeros and ones, but we are the ones who give those numbers meaning. We should remember that even in the face of the most difficult statistics, we have the ability to dream of a world that does not yet exist. We are the DIYers and the binary defiers who can extract wisdom from the earth even when it feels like a landmine. We must not be afraid of the technology, but we must be very protective of our humanity. The work of building a better world requires a level of grit and persistence that a computer cannot understand. It requires a heart that can break and then mend itself to keep going. We are the authors of the next prompt. We are the ones who decide if the email of our future finds us well or if we let it find us lost. If you could turn off the noise of every screen for a single day and look only at the people standing right in front of you, what is the one promise you would make to them that no machine could ever keep?